Hey, how you doing? Listen up, people. I'm gonna have to open up a can of worms with this one. This is a subject that nobody likes to talk about at church. So you'll have to forgive me in advance if it stings a little, or if it challenges your ideas a little. Gotta be said. What I'm about to talk about is some major stuff, okay? This is right up there with religion and politics. This is stuff nobody likes to talk about. This one here is a little different. This is a subject that husbands and wives get divorced over, okay? People go to jail over this, all right? Countries go to war over this. It's said that the love of this is the root of all kinds of evil. But without it, there's not much good you can do. You got it yet? Do you know what I'm talking about? Did it click yet? Did that bell ring? That's right. I'm talking about money. M-O-N-E-Y. You heard me. The moolah, the cabbage, the greenbacks, the bucks, el dinero, whatever you want to call it. We have a lot of questions about money. You know? How do we get it? How do we spend it? How do we hold on to some of it? I mean, let's face it, we all have money problems. Am I right? You know, this is something that I deal with on a daily basis. I gotta pay bills. I try to set a little bit aside, do right by my family, and maybe every once in a while go on a little vacation, right? But here's the thing. Here's the big question for us. Even though we know it's going to be hard, we've got to think to ourselves, how much can we put aside for our church? I know this is a subject that nobody likes to talk about at church, but let's face it, we are a church. We got to have it. Because you know what happens when we don't have enough of it? We got to cut back. We got to let people go. We got to cut services. We got to do less and less and less. And eventually, we got to turn off the lights, shut the doors. The end. No more church, no more fellowship, no more of the good that we do in this community. That idea really makes me sad. And I hope it makes you sad too. This year we got a big wake-up call. A while back we were given an endowment. And at one time it was a really big fat endowment. But every month we've been dipping into the endowment. Dipping to pay the bills, dipping to keep the lights on, dipping to keep services running. And we've been dipping and dipping and dipping faster than the endowment can grow. That means that eventually, and probably a lot sooner than you think, the endowment is going to be gone. That's right, you heard me. If something doesn't change within the next 7 to 10 years, the endowment is going to be gone. Finito, finished, goodbye. So what can we do about that? Well, we're cutting back everywhere we can. We're increasing efficiencies everywhere we can. We've got programs running right now to make our church buildings more energy efficient. We're going to realize a lot of savings there. We're cutting corners everywhere that we can. But you know what? Even with all the cutting back, it's still not enough. We need more. Do you know what we need? We need you. We need you to get angry. We need you to think about a world without Holy Trinity. We need you to think about that. And we need you to decide that you will not let that happen. But what can I do, you ask? Well, you can pledge. Pledge? What's a pledge? Your pledge is your commitment to what the church can count on from you. It helps us to budget so that we know how much we have to work with every month. A pledge is a faith commitment. It's your way of saying yes to Holy Trinity and to our mission to God in this community. A pledge is like setting a personal goal. It should be challenging, something to reach for, maybe even a bit of a sacrifice, something that will reorder the way we think about how we deal with money. I think about my pledge. I remember a scene in Taxi. Maybe you've seen the show. There's a scene where Louis De Palma is trying to figure out what the right number is. And he says, there's an exact figure somewhere in between ooh and By making your pledge, you can let us know that you believe in us, that you want to keep the lights on, that you want to keep the heat running, that you want to keep the coffee flowing. You can tell us that you love Holy Trinity, that you are Holy Trinity, and you want us to keep going. You don't want us to do less, no! You want us to do more, give more, help more, love more, and we can do that. But we can only do it with your help. We can only do it together as a church. That's right, folks. Together, we can keep Holy Trinity moving in the right direction. We can keep Holy Trinity going forever if we do it together. Come on, Holy Trinity. Click on the link below and make your pledge today, because together, we are Holy Trinity.